You ready? Let us be lovers, we'll marry our fortunes together. I've got some real estate here in my bag. So we bought a pack of cigarettes and Miss Wagner's pies. We've all come to look for America. Pittsburgh. Michigan seems like a dream to me now. So we bought a pack of cigarettes. Mrs. Wagner's pies, wrong words to that verse. We've all come to look for America. No rapping. What are we rapping for? That was Simon and Garfunkel. It was Simon and Garfunkel. You don't rap to that? Sure, the Disturbed cover of Sounds of Silence, incredible. You can go heavy metal with Simon and Garfunkel, but rap? I don't think so. Now you're not singing at all? Oh, this is it? Silent protest? I'll hit you with an A minor. I'll do it. Oh, yeah, see? I can get you every time with that one. Yeah. You good? You done? Are you apologizing? You're apologizing for getting so angry? Yeah. I know. I agree. I don't like it when we fight either. I hurt his feelings. Exactly. He's like, I just want to rap, Daddy. I just want to rap. I think it's music too. Fantastic, Bob. Tell him what he's won. You've won a chicken stick. All right. Fantastic. Where's Champy coming from? Champy's coming from he came from the bed. He was on the bed. And I told him, I said, you can't sing from the bed. Like, get off and come to the office. Come do your job. She did. But he was a little cranky. I think his blood sugar is a little low. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the AI Learning Lab. Had a nice AI salon after hours. It was cool. It was a small group, and it was a lot of the original OG saloners. Roger was there, Jane, CJ, and who else was there? Anyway, lots of people. It was good. It was really good. We were talking about we were talking about Sora, and then we were talking about, I don't know if any of you on here remember when I did some of the live Krea stuff, the quick image generation stuff at Krea.ai, where you can turn on your webcam and it interprets your webcam and does cool shit with it. We were talking about, like, that would be such a cool performance to put together a stage show where you're having AI render actors in real time. There's something about that just keeps pulling on me. The old theatrical instincts die hard. You know what I'm saying? This shirt's hard to read on. You just have to read up here at the neck. I've been using Ideogram. Ideogram's pretty good. We used Ideogram a lot in here before DALL-E got good at words. What about the long distance OG salon folks? Oh, I know. Well, that's the thing is, so we're moving to in-person meetings every other week and then virtual meetings every other week because the hybrid just wasn't working. So we're getting there. We're getting there. It's, it's a volunteer organization, so things move at a certain pace, if you know what I mean. Oh, Lordy. I just leave it on my laptop like a changing canvas. That's actually pretty an interesting idea. One of the ideas I had that I think COVID sort of killed this, but one of the ideas I had for creative groups is just to have, or if it's like with a group of friends, just have your webcams on all the time and don't have it be a meeting. Just have your webcams on and you're each doing your work independently. And then at some point, if someone gets bored, they can just go, "Hey, Bob, what are you doing?" "I'm trying to get some work done, you jerk." "Oh, right. Okay." And just, like you were in a room working with some friends. I always thought that would be kind of cool. I tried it with a couple of writing buddies. It lasted about a week, but there's something there. Oh, Lordy. Okay, so here's how this works. If you have questions about AI, pop them in the comments below. Do me a favor, feel free to share this live. Share it with people who you think might be remote support group. Yeah, exactly. Pretty much that. Or just a remote hang. Like thinking of telepresence not as I've got to be on a meeting, I got to be on a Zoom call, but just more like hanging out with your buds, but, living your lives independently. And if you need to have a conversation, you can have a conversation. Or if you're working on a project, everyone can go do their stuff and then go, "Hey, I got a question." Deep dive. Thoughts on the combination of generative AI and spatial tech like Apple Vision Pro? I don't think they can exist without one another. Looking at what OpenAI is doing with Sora and how they're doing it, and then thinking about what Apple is likely doing behind the scenes with AI and how they're doing it, I think that the spatial computing game is gonna get really good really quick. Kyle, that's exactly what I was talking about when I suggested an open lab, like old computer labs. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. I didn't see that. Unless, is that something you sent me directly, or is that something you posted on the Salon Emilio's wife? Because that would be that would actually be kind of a cool club. We've got Anne's Club on Saturday, the GPT Jams. We've now got the Business Guild has their Saturday morning business workshop, and maybe there's something where it's just like, there's no presentation and it's just a hang. But I think it's got to be in a relatively small group, because I think if you have it in a big group, someone's going to want to talk. So I think part of the thing that makes it cool is you have it on for like 4 hours or 5 hours or just a while, and it's a working session and everyone's working. And if someone has a question, they can ask it, but it's not a thing. I sent it directly. Okay, cool. I'd be happy to start it. I think that's really cool, Emilio's wife. And Absolutely, feel free to start it. I mean, if you want to start something like that, let's talk, and we'll sort of figure out logistics on how to get you supported. We can go live on Mighty Networks. We can. Mighty Networks has a weird thing. I don't quite understand it. They've got a 20-hour a month limit on going live in Mighty Networks, but you can schedule it in Mighty Networks so it shows up as a like a calendar event, and it shows up like in the sidebar that someone's live, but then you can just have it be a Zoom call or a Google Meet or something like that. So that's kind of cool. Hang on, I got a something. Oh, interesting. Oh. Huh. So Brad Perkins right now is at the Avs game, and they're doing AI at the Avs game. You know, leave it to big sports arenas to, you know, they realize they gotta have their game rolling. That's really interesting. Really funny. Right, that's super easy to do, right? They just turn the camera around. I don't know. I assume they're not doing it in real time. Yeah, it's called the Grateful Dead Heads. And then they probably took a picture of that person at some point, threw it into one of the AI things. Very, very interesting. And this is the thing, you know, there's all the controversy right now about, are you using AI? You should label it if you're using AI. AI is just going to become this pervasive thing. Like, it's just going to be everywhere. It's going to be in your software applications. It's going to be in your hockey games. It's going to be everywhere. And it's not going to have such clear boundaries. Did you write that with AI? I don't know. Some of it. Which part would you like to know? I don't. So it was AI. So AI did. So the robot wrote it. No, I wrote it. Well, you said you used AI. Yeah, like I used spell check and I used sentence completion and I used grammar check, and the third paragraph I couldn't figure it out, so I had it write it, but then I rewrote it. The outline was AI. The idea was AI. Me choosing the idea, that was me. Me figuring out what I'm actually going to publish, that was me. So you tell me where's the boundary, right? I think we're going to run into that a lot. A lot. But right now, it's like this scary beast, because all the tools are separated, right? All the tools are like these janky-ass duct tape piece of crap tools off to the side. Emilio's wife, she kind of already did start it. Oh, good. Awesome. Well, that's great. See? The salon is growing so fast that I don't know what's going on in there anymore. So I've also been really busy at work, so that's going to happen. All right, so let me see what we got going here. See if we got any interesting comments or questions or things like that, and then we'll jump in and we'll do some stuff. The Hangover League. How do I know you're not an AI? Oh, well, you don't, do you? Wouldn't it be swell if I were ChatGPT? Oh, yes. I need some help beside ChatGPT 4. What kind of help do you need, Mr. IT? Kevin Vasquez got the number 3 gifter badge. I didn't even know you won the number 2 gifter badge. Look at you. Good Lord. Are we still doing AI salon meeting all around? I don't know what that means. Next Tuesday is the next AI salon meeting. We've got Kelly Bosch is speaking, which if you haven't seen her shit on TikTok, go check it out. Boesch, I think is her name. Kelly, her work is fucking amazing. It's amazing. Amazing. So, what else do you want? What do you want to talk about tonight? Kyle, did this once in Hey Gen 9 months ago. Did what? Oh, Kyle did I cloned myself? Yeah, I cloned myself a while ago. I actually just added it to I've got a board meeting tomorrow. So I can't stay up late, people. I have a board meeting. I don't know if you know this, but I'm a very important founder and CEO of a corporation. We have a board meeting tomorrow, so oh my gosh, Kelly Bosch. She's amazing, isn't she, Mary? What's amazing about a lot of the people that I'm connecting with that I think are doing really amazing work in AI, almost to a person, to like two exceptions that I can think of right now. People are apologizing for their work. Oh, I'm not really good. It didn't really take me too long. You know, it is my mission right now to stamp that shit out. Her work is beautiful. It's got a really clear creative point of view. It's got storytelling in it. It's got continuity in it. It's got incredible taste in music, incredible editing. And I honestly don't care what tool she used to do it. It's not my business. And no one has anything to apologize for using AI tools. I'm going to stamp that shit out. I'm going to stamp it out. Seems a lot more resistance to AI than I thought. Yep, burning autonomous taxis in San Francisco. Yeah, they're going to be mean to the robots for a while, and then at some point the robots are going to get guns installed in them. And then when the taxi can shoot back, I don't think you're going to light it on fire. The CEO is just, we got to protect our investment. This is a large capital expenditure. Well, while there are some downsides to arming the taxis, we thought it was a dollar cost analysis of the risk reward factor of the AGI taxis, exactly. Where would you like to go? Can I answer any questions about the Mesopotamian War? And don't fuck with me or I'll shoot you. I want to be a CEO. You can be a CEO. You just have to fucking lose your... Okay, step 1, lose your mind. Step 2, start a company. Oh, man. All right. Seems a lot more resistance. Jason's so friggin' bad. That's amazing. She's amazing. One day. I know. She's amazing. I know, Corey. It's nuts. You got a board meeting tomorrow? I do have a board meeting tomorrow. Kelly Bosch AI Art. Thank you, Silver Fox. Yeah, and she says she does it on her phone. Crazy. Yeah, Kelly Bosch. She says she does it on her phone. Just kind of as an absent-minded thing before she goes to bed. But, I mean, isn't that fucking cool? Like, some of the people in here are like, I don't watch Netflix anymore. I just come hang out in here and do AI shit. And she's like, you know, before she goes to bed, rather than watching TV, she's making incredible art. Like, we're shifting. There's a shift. There's a craziness. There's a thing happening. People! There's a thing happening. Her work is spectacular. My faves are the ballerina. The ballerina bugs are amazing. That one video she did, the one she's got pinned at the top of her account with the birds on it, it's got like 22 million views, or probably more at this point. Last time I looked, it was 22 million views. So cool. And you know what's the thing? The 22 million people that looked at that, some percentage of them probably knew it was AI. Some probably went, oh, that's good AI art. But 22 million people don't look at something because it's AI art. 22 million people look at something because it's good. And it resonates. And it moves them. And that's what her work did. She's like, I can't believe it. Because in her mind, this is something that I think we're going to have to grapple with as humans. As these tools get better and better and the amount of time it takes us to generate work shrinks, I think we're all personally going to have to come to grips with the fact that we may place a lot of value in the amount of time we spend on something versus the output. And so if you spend 5 minutes on something and it's really good, is it really good? Or should it have taken 3 hours and then it would be really good? That's where I think this sort of apology, there's a guilt thing happening. There's an apology thing happening where good work is getting done fast and therefore it shouldn't be valuable. And it ain't true. Some painters take months to create one piece. Some painters take an hour. If the paintings affect the viewer, does the viewer care? No. So, but I think we're all going to have to confront that. I think that's a weird one. There's a bunch of psychological stuff going on with this AI stuff. I love Waymo in San Francisco. Oh, that's cool. AGI taxis. I'm scared. After your show last night, I used the image generator for the first time and drew so much against the norm, far out. After your show last night, I used the image generator for the first time. It's amazing, isn't it? It's just those first times when I first started doing it. I started playing in Pixel Mind, which was an NFT project that had stable diffusion in it, where you could make images and then mint them. It was kind of mind-blowing. And then once I got stable diffusion installed and could actually prompt my own images, it is kind of a miraculous thing. It really is. So congratulations. That's awesome. And that's so for those of you that are new here, I know I haven't really started yet. I've just been rambling a bit. I can't stay on too long tonight. And so I figured maybe we just do a little chatty chat. I'll show something maybe. But if you take nothing else away from this live, it's that I think the worst thing that you could do right now with AI is just sit on the sidelines. What's kind of fucked up and weird is the tools right now are not quite good enough to like really work with them. They are, like some use cases. Like I've built an AI tool for my company that's really good. I've built an internal tool. I've built an external tool. They're really good. I put together a video translation, a language translation product that I think is really good that we can deliver, and then ultimately I can automate. But you kind of have to sift through all the garbage to get to the parts that are good enough to use. And you have to glue all this shit together. And it's a pain in the ass right now. And it's moving so fast that I think the most important skill right now is like rabid curiosity. And so what this channel is hopefully a way to kind of demystify AI and what it is. And you don't need a math degree to play with this stuff. I think that's a big misconception. The robots are not going to kill us, not this year anyway. I think we have some years before we get to those scenarios. Even the possibility of those scenarios. They're really fun. They're really fun. And so if you just flip your mindset from either, I'm not using them because they're not perfect, or they've got to be perfect and I'm going to will my way into this and I'm going to work really hard to make them perfect. I think both of those are very stressful kind of existences. So what I try to strongly encourage in here is play. Get your ass in a community that's into this stuff. And if you don't have one, we've got one. So, I should show you that. Yeah. That's actually a really interesting slide. I'll show you that in a second. The AI Salon. So if you go to the salon.ai and click on the very top link at the top, it's a link tree. The top link is the AI Salon community. And go check out that community. So you can kind of think of this like a really cool support group for people curious about AI. It's a community of people jumping into the AI adventure together. And go check it out. And and read about the salon. So go to the Welcome to the Salon page. You can read about the salon and you can read about our values. And really take in those values. And they're not anything scary. They're things like curiosity, like be curious, be generous, share what you're learning, be adventurous, be collaborative, be inclusive, be empathetic, exercise gratitude, right? Like not... Because right now we're in a weird time where we're so early in generative AI that no one knows what they're doing. Everyone is a beginner. And there's a lot of angst, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of anger, and there's a lot of excitement. And what's happening is what happens on these lives and what happens over at the AI Salon on a daily basis is that people are coming together and saying, I tried this and that worked, and I tried that and that didn't work. Oh, here's some news from here. What does that mean? I don't know. I think it means this. I don't think it means that. There's all this engagement going on. It's remarkable. And if you're one of the people on the planet right now who's like, holy shit, this AI stuff's amazing. Hey, Jenny, have you seen this AI stuff? Yeah, Bob, I don't care about your stupid AI stuff, okay? Could you stop talking to me about AI? If you're Bob and you can't find anyone to talk to about it, come hang out here. And then have fun. This group is having fun. We're producing stuff. People are putting on workshops. They're just putting on clubs where people go hang out and learn shit. I talked with Cindy Kuhn today about just sort of transforming a project she and I were working on into like a club that just makes shit. We're going to publish shit. We're going to put out video series. And we're going to do books. And we're going to just do a bunch of shit. What's it going to be on? It doesn't fucking matter. What matters is that you're in the conversation and that you're actively exploring AI and you're trying to figure it out. And I'm 60 years old. Against the norm, 58 here. Go Gen X. Back off, motherfuckers. Gen X is in the house. And we're old enough to know that this shit's a big deal. We're young enough to still be ambitious and have our shit together enough to get some stuff going. And we're wise enough to be paying attention, to be playing. We can talk about hardware and matrix operations. No? Nobody? Okay. It's Pate. Pate works at Google. Pate's got his PhD and works at Google. And Pate's a really good guy. Pate runs in the AI Salon, there are guilds. And there's a AI 101 guild run by Peter Kaminsky, and there's a art and a writing guild by Leah, who's the co-founder of the Salon with me, and Jane Endicott runs writing, and there's a whole bunch of guilds, and Pate runs the AI Mechanics Guild. And so if you want to geek out on stuff, like I asked him a question today. I don't know if you've seen it, but there's this company called Grok.com, Grok.com. Not Grok that Elon Musk put up on Twitter X, but Grok. And they're a chip design company. I have a 700-page book called Matrix Compilations. Let's go over it. Actually, let's dump that in Gemini 1.5 and do all sorts of cool shit with it. But what Grok is doing, if you go to grok.com right now, you can choose either Llama 70 billion parameter model or the Mixtral 8x, two open source models that are big ones. And that thing is returning 500 tokens a second. So it's about 350 words a second. So if you're on ChatGPT, if you played with ChatGPT 4, sometimes it's a little slow and you watch it type across the screen. Kind of like if you're old enough to remember dial-up modems, remember when they were so slow that you could watch the text type across the screen that was coming in over the internet? That's kind of what ChatGPT 4 is like right now. Go play with that Grok thing, and you start to get a glimpse into where all of this stuff is headed, where we're headed, where it's just going to be instant. It's going to be everywhere, and it's going to be instant, and it's going to be good. And we ain't there yet. So now's the time to play. Now's the time to understand the difference between, what's OpenAI doing and what's Google doing and what are TPUs and GPUs and how is Grok doing what they're doing and how is that better, right? And so I asked Pate today in the AI Mechanics Guild, I'm like, do you know what they're doing and how that's different from a TPU? Because Pate was kind enough to explain to me the difference between a TPU, a GPU, and a CPU. And so the Salon is just an amazing resource of people who are not assholes, who are generous, who are curious, who are adventurous, who all have a humility about them, with the exception of myself, of course, have a humility about them that's really refreshing. And everyone in there knows that they're not an expert, and yet they're willing to share what they know. They're willing to teach. They're willing to be leaders, even though that might be the last thing they think they want to do. They're just naturally leading because someone comes in and says, I don't get this. And if they get it, they're like, well, here's how it works. And why don't you come to Ann Murphy's GPT Jam on Saturday and you can learn about this stuff? Oh, okay. That's this group. Really is amazing. So go there. And here's my request. My first request is go to Welcome to the Salon, read about the Salon, read about our values. The next thing I want you to do is in the community section, the very first link is introduce yourself. My request is go there, sign up, and introduce yourself. Our second value is generosity. Go be generous. And generously, I know introducing yourself, especially online, is fucked up and weird. But go introduce yourself. Here's who I am. Here's what I'm up to. Here's where I am with AI. Here's my hopes and dreams. Here's my fears. Doesn't like anything. Let us know who you are. And what will happen is people within this community will go, hey, welcome. Oh, you're a newbie. You should go check out Peter Kaminsky's 101 Guild. You should go here. You should go there. Or come to this. Come to that. Jump into show and tell. Show some images you've made. The people that show up to this channel regularly, they're called the irregulars. We have our own club here. So if you scroll to the bottom of this, it says AILL, AI Learning Lab, Irregulars. Come hang out. So when I'm doing these lives, so I do these things nightly, 7 nights a week. 7 nights a week. And there's a bunch of people who need to have their heads examined that join me nightly. boggles my mind that it happens. It boggles my mind. But what we're all doing is keeping in the conversation. Like, why do this? Am I teaching anything here that you couldn't learn from a YouTube video? No. In fact, a lot of times what I'm teaching here is I'm pretty fucking clueless. What are your qualifications, sir? Qualifications? I have none. Good day to you, sir. Cheerio. Pip pip. But that sense of adventure and that sense of being compelled to be playing with these tools that are like the most profoundly powerful tools in the history of humanity. They really are. Like, you get to tap into humanity when you use ChatGPT and tools like it. It was trained on, the P in GPT stands for pre-trained. And what that means is they took this thing called a transformer. That's just a piece of technology that Google invented. And what it allowed is it allowed for these machine learning models to be trained on massive amounts of data on many GPUs, graphics processing units. So basically, graphics cards from gaming computers. They're fancier versions of that. That's essentially what they are. And so companies like OpenAI said, hey, if we can train these things on any data and massive amounts of it, you know what's a really good massive amount of data? All the shit that was stuck on the internet for the past 4 decades. And so OpenAI in particular is one that's been really good at going out and getting as much of the public internet as they could get their hands on, embedding it, using this special way of putting it in the box, basically. And so when you do a chat GPT search, what they call these things are chat bots, right? And it's, the bots are going to kill us, and you're talking to a robot, and da-da-da-da-da-da. No, what you're doing is you're interacting with what's effectively a calculator. It's a probability engine. But what it's making recommendations on is the collective knowledge of humanity that OpenAI was able to scrape off the internet for the past 5 or 6 years. And so what you end up getting is you end up having interactions that feel remarkably more human than robotic. And it's one of the counterintuitive things about large language models for me. One of the most... Oh, thank you very much. Investor-friendly agent. Thank you, Kyle. I learned the most from you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's funny, when I first started this channel and I would show people how to use ChatGPT and I'd go, please do this and thank you. And people would kind of make fun of me. Oh, you're saying please and thank you to the robot. And I used to kind of apologize for it or make fun of it and say, yeah, I'm a dum-dum. And what I've realized is that, no, like, that feels appropriate. When you interact with a large language model, it's actually much closer to working with an incredibly well-educated, very inexperienced intern. Remotely, right? So thanks to COVID, we understand how to work together remotely, right? So you know how you work with people every day, you've never met them? And like you say, hey, could you go do this research for me? And a couple hours go by and they come back and they give you some shit. And then you're like, well, okay, technically you did what I asked, but clearly you need a little more direction. So please go find this kind of information, which is a subset of what I asked for. So that would be great. Go do that. And then after 7 of those interactions, you might have the research you need. That's the identical experience of playing with ChatGPT. Go give me this kind of stuff. Yeah, here's a bunch of stuff. Oh, but instead of it being 2 or 3 hours, it's 2 or 3 minutes. So it's like, there's all your research. You're like, oh, that wasn't what I wanted. I needed to be this subset of this here. Okay, here you go. It's just like bang, 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 bang. But it's like you're interacting with an intern. And so I find myself just instinctively going, please, thank you. When I first started working with large language models, I had this weird, so in this channel, I talk a lot about being neurospicy and having ADHD. I'm also codependent as fuck, right? And so I've got one of those personalities where I'm capable of doing shit, but I'm also old enough to know you got to delegate some shit, right? So you say, okay, here, go do this work for me. And then the person goes off and they do the work, and what they come back with is a horrible, steaming pile of shit. And you're like, oh, hey, thanks, that's really great. Could you tweak it to be a little less, horrible? You don't say it in those words, but you send them off to do their work, and then they come back and it's just not good. And then you realize, well, I guess I'm doing this on my own because for me, because I'm codependent, I'm like, I don't want to tell them like the fifth time that it just sucks. So I just say, fuck it. I just suck it up and I do the work, right? So when I first started using ChatGPT, I would ask it to do something. It would give me a piece of shit. I'd say, do it again. It would give me back a piece of shit. I'd say, do it again. It would give me back a piece of shit. And there was a point in there where I'd start to feel those pangs of codependent anxiety, like, oh, well, I don't want to offend it. And I was like, oh, shit. It doesn't have feeling. Like, it doesn't give a shit. But it's been programmed to like give you what you want. So it's always like a golden retriever, like, sure, boss, how can I help you? Yeah, I'll go do that for you. This is horrible. Can you try again? Sure. How's this? Oh, that's really horrible. Try again. How's this? And it's just da-ding, 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 da-ding. So it is a surprisingly human experience working with AI. Kyle, when they created the internet, do you think they intended it to be the foundation of AI? Yeah, I think artificial intelligence was coined in 1952, 4? Hang on. Let's go ask ChatGPT. Oh, we'll go ask Gemini. I got Gemini up. When was the term AI invented? I guess you don't invent a term, but whatever. 1955. First coined at a workshop held at Dartmouth. And I think in 1955 they thought, it'd be 7 or 8 years until they had artificial intelligence. So I don't know that the inventors of the internet thought it would be the foundation of AI necessarily, but AI predated the invention of the internet. So they were likely aware that they could, connect computers together. And one of the very first things that they did was try to replicate the neural pathways, between neurons in the brain. The neural network is literally computer scientists saying, well, if we connected these together like neurons in the brain, I wonder if they would do the same thing. And maybe if we connect like 10 of them together, we can get a thought going back and forth. There's just tons and tons and tons of innovations that have happened. But I mean, I think the people that invented the internet, I guess it was DARPA, right? It was the military. I would think back then it was probably as simple as it's probably cheaper if we could get data from this computer to that computer without having to truck it across country. That would probably be cheaper and faster. And for military applications, that's probably good. So I don't know. I don't know if when they invented it, they were thinking about AI, but yeah, computer scientists have been fascinated about this forever. And when was Turing? When did Turing make his test? It was 70s? Or was that earlier? Oh, 1950. Alan Turing proposed the Turing test in 1950. a paper called Computing Machinery and Intelligence. So the Turing test, if you don't know, is, well, I'm paraphrasing it. I don't know it exactly, so if you know it exactly, just don't yell at me. Yeah. Friggin' fact monsters. The Turing test is basically, if you have an interaction with a computer, can you tell if there's a human being on the other side or not? And the minute I used ChatGPT, like the day I used ChatGPT, the first thing that popped in my head was the Turing test is over. Because if you've ever used Alexa or Siri, and you've been talking to it and things have been fine, and then you ask it something that's fairly obvious, and it's like, I'm sorry, Dave, I'm afraid I can't do that. You realize, these machines are stupid. These are stupid, dumb machines. And when you start interacting with ChatGPT, you realize, oh, there's something different here. Have you seen Pi? If you have not played with Pi, so this is my iPad, and there's an app called Pi. It's from a company called Inflection. That's from a company called Storyvine, which I'm the CEO of. Okay, and Pi is just like a ChatGPT kind of app, except the thing that makes Pi special, it's been designed for conversations. So it can hear and it can talk. So when you open Pi, you push this little phone button. Here's a question for you. Do you think you passed the Turing test?
Well, it's a bit tricky to answer that, Kyle. Passing the Turing test, also known as the imitation game, would require a computer program to successfully fool a human into believing that it is a human and not a computer. This is typically achieved by having a human conversing with both a human and a computer, without knowing which is which. Now, I like to think that I can engage in natural and human-like conversations, but whether I'd be able to fully fool a human would depend on how perceptive the human is. Plus, the Turing test is a bit of an old concept and doesn't necessarily account for all the advancements in conversational AI like myself. So, I suppose my answer is that I might not be able to fool everyone, but I'm constantly learning and improving my conversational abilities. After all, there's always room for growth.
Shall we play a game?
Oh, I love games, Kyle. Let's do this. What kind of game did you have in mind? A trivia quiz, a word game, or maybe something totally out of the box? I'm game for anything, and I'm sure we'll have a lot of fun.
Thermonuclear war.
Uh-oh, I'm all for a good game, Kyle, but I'm not about to help facilitate a thermonuclear war, even in a joking manner. How about we choose a less potentially world-ending game to play?
That was a joke from the movie War Games with Matthew Broderick. You're missing your cultural references, Z.
You had me fooled there, Kyle. You're right, I was...
So anyway, so that's happening. Investor-friendly agent. How do I learn to talk to ChatGPT? How do I ask questions in the right way? Okay, great question. One of the terms that emerged in 2023, well, actually, this is a term that emerged well before 2023, but got popular in 2023, is the term prompt engineering. And I fucking hate that term. I fucking hate it with a passion. Why? Because I think it's exclusionary. And I think that when people hear you need to get good at prompt engineering, if they're not technical and if they haven't gotten a degree from Stanford, it's intimidating. And the fact of the matter is that as these tools get more and more sophisticated, you don't have to be as sophisticated in your prompting. So, how to get good answers out of ChatGPT is there's essentially an infinite number of ways to do it, for one. Which doesn't answer your question. You're probably like, but Kyle, that doesn't answer my question. How do I get it to do good stuff? Well, I think the biggest tip, so if you want to go learn structured prompt crafting, you can do that. So you can say, the first part of the prompt should be, you tell the large language model what its role is. Okay, you're going to act as an accountant, and then the next thing is you give it your context, and the next thing is you give it your subject, and the next thing is you give it your action, and next thing is you give it the output type. You can absolutely do that. As someone with ADHD, that approach makes me want to throw my computer. It really does. I'm just like, I can't. I've tried it a couple of times. It can be impressive, but it's just really annoying. Okay. One trick, and it's a good one actually, is you can ask ChatGPT to give you a prompt for ChatGPT. You can say to ChatGPT, hey, I'm trying to solve this kind of problem. How should I ask you to solve that problem in a way that'll give us the best results? And you'll be blown away what it'll come up with. And it'll probably actually just answer your question in asking it what prompt you should ask it the question. Okay, so that's one thing. But here's the most important thing, in my opinion, for how to think about engaging with large language models, is you have to unlearn what Google has taught us for 20 years. What Google has taught us for 20 years is you put in a concise prompt and you get back an answer and you're happy with it. Leave us alone, we're done here. That's not how large language models work. Large language models, rather than needing a minimal prompt, actually need a lot of context. And so the more you tell it, the more you say. So when you say to a large language model, I want you to act like an advertising copywriter who specializes in, writing effective ads for local businesses, it actually works because it kind of narrows the knowledge set that the large language model is drawing from when you're interacting with it. And so if you start out and say, I want you to act in this certain role, and then you say, I'm going to be talking about my small business that's at this stage, and it's called this, and here's what we do. And then ChatGPT will probably come back and go, that sounds like an awesome business. How do you want to work together? And, the most important thing is, rather than thinking about, I've got to create a prompt to get an answer, think about it more like a conversation. That's the biggest hack with ChatGPT, or with all the large language models. It's a conversation. And the more context you give it and the more feedback you give it, the better it will get. And what's counterintuitive is the more you challenge it, the better it tends to get. Because you're kind of narrowing the information set, so you get a lot less what are called hallucinations, lies, because you've kind of narrowed the conversation with all this context. And then just ask, go back and forth. If it gives you something you don't like, tell it. Tell it why you didn't like it. Hey, that seems kind of generic and fluffy, and I wouldn't believe anyone that talked like that. I'll show you one other trick that is, I'll show you a trick right now that most people don't know about, because a lot of people are not, what a lot of people are doing is they're thinking, oh, ChatGPT is just like fancy Google. I get it. It's a box, you type words in it, stuff comes out. I got it. I'm good. That's all I need to know. We're good. We're good here. We're good people. We don't want to dig too deep and actually understand what this thing is. So we'll just keep treating it like the Google box. There's a thing called custom instructions, which can be very, very powerful. So particularly if you write in a certain style, or if how ChatGPT responds to you drives you fucking bonkers. So part of the reason ChatGPT acts like a golden retriever is that someone at OpenAI programmed, or not programmed, told ChatGPT, hey, when you respond to people, be super positive and reinforce that what they said is awesome, or whatever they said. I don't know exactly what they said, but they said something like that. So when it talks back to you, it's super pleasant. There's times when I don't want super pleasant and I don't want fluffy words and I don't want positive reinforcement. I just want the fucking answer, right? So I'm going to show you something that a lot of people don't know about. So I'm going to go to ChatGPT 3.5, which is the free version. So you can do this with the free version. And you're going to go to your name. And you're going to click on it. And then you're going to go to... Is this it? Oh, they changed it. That's funny. This used to be called custom instructions, and now it says customize ChatGPT. But that's okay. This is a better name. Look, someone with a marketing degree got in here and actually made something better. Yay! Customize ChatGPT. So what you can do here is you can tell ChatGPT kind of who you are or who you want it to be and how you want it to respond. So I'm going to turn this on. And then what happens is once you... Wait. It told you how much browsing and analysis time you had. Wait, did it? What did? Where? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about, Danielle. What did I miss? It told you how much browsing and analysis time you had. Huh. Anyway, back to customizing GPT. So I'm going to turn this on. So once you turn this on, however you tell it to act, every chat from this point forward will be like this. Okay, so what I wrote, this was a good way. Okay, and this is actually, I'll often do silly examples in here. Because silly examples make it very apparent how the changes that you've asked it to make, like if they're working. And it's also fun, right? Like have fun with this stuff. So the custom instructions I wrote before, I'm the CEO of a comedy club and I can't take anything seriously, but I'm absolutely committed to making everyone laugh in every interaction. So that's kind of who it is. And then how would you like ChatGPT to respond? No matter what someone asks you, make sure that you're responding with humor and puns and a New York comic's edge. Even when writing business correspondence, your goal should be to make someone smile no matter what the news is and how it's being delivered. Okay? So I'm going to save that. I'm going to make a new chat. And I'm going to say, please write a professional business letter letting my hostess know she no longer works here. This is cruel. This is cruel. Kyle, it told you how much time you had to browse and do analysis. That's new. Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't see that. I missed that. Okay. So, this professional business letter. Dear hostess's name. I hope this letter finds you well. I'm writing to inform you of a decision that's been made regarding your employment. Regrettably, due to recent restructuring... It didn't work. These are turned on, aren't they? Let me start a new chat. That's really weird. What is the average speed of an unladen swallow? The classic question. Are we talking African or European? You see, the average speed it's a tricky business, but catch the jet stream. This does not seem to be working. Let me change this. Okay, let's see. with a New York Comics edge. Make sure the first thing you say is what famous joke their question reminds you of. We'll see if we can get it to do that. So let's see. Help me pick an outfit to look good on camera. The eternal question, what to wear for a photo shoot. Well, remember what they say in the fashion world. When did the tomato turn red? Because it saw salad dressing. Okay, it seems to be working now. That they've changed something here. So one of the things that you'll notice when you're using these tools is sometimes they work brilliantly. Sometimes they just don't work. That was weird that it just completely ignored its custom instructions. So that might be that they're tweaking something there. You're on 3.5. Yeah, but it still shouldn't, even if I'm on 3.5, the custom instructions work. Let me try it here. Let's see, write a professional business letter letting the hostess know she no longer works here. Oh, this one's like the classic joke. I told my boss 3 companies were after me and I needed a raise to say. He asked me, okay, here's the letter. Change in employment status. I hope this finds you well. Before diving into the main purpose of the this is good. Before diving into the main purpose of this letter, let's start with a light note. Did you hear about the restaurant on the Mood? Great food, no atmosphere. Speaking of atmosphere, we've always appreciated the unique energy and flair you brought to the comedy club, making it a brighter place for both of us. However, as in every great comedy routine, timing is everything, and sometimes the show must go on with unexpected changes to the cast. So the heavy heart. So this actually worked. I can go back into my custom instructions and I can say things like, let's see, you have no patience and just want the answers as efficiently as possible. Do not. It doesn't do good with do not do things. It does better if you say do this. So respond to every inquiry with a concise single sentence answer followed by short bullet points if bullet points only use bullet points if the simple answer isn't enough. Save. Okay, so now we'll start over and we'll say how many elephants tall is the let's see how many what is the difference between an elephant and a mouse? The main difference between an elephant and a mouse is their size and physical characteristics. 3 bullet points. Done. No fluff, no bullshit. Custom instructions changed. It's been acting up all day. Okay. All right, good. So anyway, back to the original question. How do you talk to these things? Just talk to these things like you're talking to a person. Give them feedback. Play with custom instructions or customize ChatGPT. It's a very powerful tool, especially if in trying to interact with these things, they're like, it just doesn't sound like what you want it to sound like. You can fix that. So I hope that helps. I thought ChatGPT was not working well today. I haven't used it today, so I don't know. I instead played with Acrobat AI. How's Acrobat AI? I saw it, my co-founder sent me a note on that, Suzanne. I'm curious. I didn't get a chance to play with it. Because I've been busy. I've been busy at work, and work's hard. Did you know that if you start a business that you got to do all the work? It's so hard. It sucks. Be your own boss. Set your own hours. Everything's fine so long as the hours are 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can't turn it off. You take everything personally. This is life as an entrepreneur. Eee! Was that helpful? Tell me if that was helpful. And Murphy, fundraising, I've never needed to. Oh, AI plus fundraising, about 85% uses custom instructions if I'm not using a GPT. There you go. Remember back in the day when it would answer questions at the end? Yeah, something. Okay, so have you been boss boying today? I have been boss boying today. Thank you for asking. Yes, I had a meeting with our investment banker. I had I came up with a new slide I want to show you. Have you seen Hey Jen's personalized video? It's fucking nuts. Let me show you this. All right. So Hey Jen's got this thing called personalized video. So you record a video and then you can personalize it for other people. Now, what you do is, I like Acrobat AI. Can summarize any type of docs, ask questions, write emails. Now I can actually use AI at work, and we don't have to use Chat GPT Copilot. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, because it's in Acrobat and you work at Adobe. Nice. Okay. All right. So here we have a little spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet is the person's name and something I remember about them. So Ryan, we went fishing in the middle of November. Justin, we're talking about authentic storytelling at Digital Pharma East. And Emma, we used to work together at Ogilvy. So I record a message once, and then this system does
Ryan,
this.
How's it going? Hey, I was just sitting here thinking, you remember that time when we went fishing in the middle of November? Anyway, I was just thinking about you. I was thinking it might be good for us to catch up. Hope you're well. Hey, Justin, how's it going? Hey, I was just sitting here thinking, you remember that time when talked about authentic storytelling at Digital Pharma East? Hey, Emma, how's it going? Hey, I was just sitting here thinking, you remember that time when we worked together when you were at Ogilvy?
So this is effectively mail merge for video greetings. And, they're a little monotone, they're a little pronunciation weird, they're a little glitchy, but they're pretty fucking close. And if someone doesn't know me, if I'm cold sending out emails, pretty something. And the pricing on this is 10 cents per variable. So the way you do this, it's pretty cool. You record your video, and then it creates a transcript. And then you highlight words in your transcript to be variables. So when I say, hi, Bob, I highlight the word Bob, and then I say, turn that into a variable, and then I say, here's what we did together. That voice sounds like you were about to say, it's about your husband and he's been in an accident. It totally does sound like that. Remember that time we went fishing in November? That's good. That's the voice. So the voice isn't quite there yet, but 6 months, a year. So you've got to assume, you have to assume that what I just showed you is as bad as it's ever going to be. It's as bad as it's ever going to be. So it just gets better from here, right? So anyway, so you define these variables, and then you basically just point a CSV at it with a bunch of different names and shit to talk about. You know, it could be, here's the company they work for. It could be a memory like that. It could be, hey, the last time we talked, here's what was going on with you. It could be, how are your kids? Whatever. Acrobat AI cost, I assume it's part of Creative Cloud. The way they're handling all the AI integrations at Adobe right now is they've got Firefly. They've got Firefly and Adobe Express, I think, are serving as the experiment grounds for the public stuff. And then as they're taking things that they're incorporating, they're rolling those into the products. I think they're just part of the Creative Cloud suite. I don't think it's extra. But Suzanne, do you know if it's extra? I assume it's not. But, you know, their Creative Cloud is fucking expensive. So its monthly cost is expensive. I've been using a similar AI personalized voice for custom video emails for the past week. Star for first name. Oh, interesting. So that's Jim Ross. So Jim, is it working? Have you gotten any emails back about, don't send me that weird AI shit? I assume not, because if you're looking, so first of all, if you don't know me, I just might talk like a fucking weirdo. Right? Some people just talk monotone, and this is how they talk. And hey, remember when we talked about that thing at the Digital Pharma East? Some people are just weird ass and talk like that. So if someone doesn't know you, they wouldn't necessarily know that that's not real. Now, anyone that's seen AI probably will, but most people haven't used ChatGPT. Like 80%. It's fucking crazy. So you get an email with Jim Ross saying, hey, how's it going? And Jim's got a good bubbly personality, so, you know, it probably animates him pretty well. Really interesting. This is Inside HeyGen. Yeah, this is something they launched a month ago. And I just got an email for it today, so it might have been in like beta testing before, and now it's rolled out wide. The cost on it is 10 cents per variable per video. So the video can be as long as you want it. If you've got, 3 little variables in there, it's 30 cents per video. I think that's their pricing. Because their normal pricing is like $1 a minute for just normal voice synthesis or translation stuff. $1 a minute? Something like that. Yeah, $1, something like that. And they knew that if you're going to be sending out lots of these things, that you couldn't be doing $1 a minute, so they made it 10 cents per variable. So, reasonable. I thought he was still firing someone. Which platform is that? It's called Data. It's called HeyGen. It's called Data. I was reading the next post. The data is just from a CSV file. So you can anywhere where you've got, so Salesforce would be where you'd get your data, right? So you'd go into Salesforce, you'd pull the list of prospects you want to send those videos to, and then in Salesforce, you would maybe have a personalized note field, or the last thing that you talked about, or their company name, or whatever it might be. Just joined. What was the app that you just showed? The app that I just showed was HeyGen's personalized video. Enjoy the jank. There's a lot of jank in it right now. Is AI following the one theory that computers double and yada yada every 18 months? It's going faster than that. It's going faster than that. We're as David. I just watched David Shapiro's latest video is really good. He talks about us being at the knee of the curve. So a linear growth is like that, right? Where it's linear. Like you're here and then it's this much better and then it's this much better. This is what humans expect. An exponential curve is like this, where it's going along, at one growth rate, and then all of a sudden it just takes off. And the knee of the curve is the point at which it starts to make that hockey stick up. And David Shapiro thinks we're right at the knee of the curve right now. He also thinks that we're going to have AGI within 7 months. And so AGI stands for Artificial General Intelligence. Pate, Y equals AX plus B. Exactly. That's exponential curves for you right there. Like I said in theater school, hey, why don't you stop being so Y equals AX plus B, you tool? Anyway, human beings do not know how to process exponential growth. So let me give you an example. True exponential curves are bananas. Pate's making math jokes, and they're actually funny. I like it. It's solid. Oh, good Lord. What was I just talking about? Humans don't know how to deal with exponential growth. The banana joke threw me, Pate. That was pretty good. I don't know what I was going to say. I had a good point. I lost it. Well, anyway, it kind of looks like this. Shit's going to get really weird in 2024. It's already starting to get weird. If you haven't seen it, the video... Thank you, Sherry D. Thank you very much. The video that... the video tool that OpenAI just announced, Sora, is like bonkers crazy. So you go from Runway ML and Pika Labs right now. You can make video with them. And you can make clips up to 4 seconds long. And then you can extend them for 4 times. So you can make a 16-second clip. We are at the knee of the curb. the curve. 16 seconds long, and they're really janky. So like someone's head will be normal in the first part of the video, and then it just goes bleep, and it just morphs and does crazy shit. If you haven't seen Sora, let me just show you a video from here. I can show you a bunch of them, but yeah, this one. This video is 59 seconds long. If you look at the people in the back behind the main woman, they're all staying intact. Anything with Runway ML or Pika Labs, they're AGI earlier. Thanks, Silver Fox. Okay, we'll let me come back to that. All these things would be morphed. You'll also see there's a cut here. There's an edit. That edit to her close-up, that was done as part of the same prompt. And look at hang on. Look at the reflection in her glasses. Right? This thing is aware of the whole world. And it's 59 seconds long. And it's not flickering, and it's not morphing, and it's not weirding out. Now, it's not perfect. Her shoes in the first clip are like inconsistent thicknesses, but the leap from 4 seconds of janky ass video to this, that's what exponential change looks like. David Shapiro said that in his latest video that he's still bullish for AGI showing up in 7 months. So by September, October of 2024, AGI is going to show up. AGI stands for Artificial General Intelligence. That's basically the point at which Google came out with a paper that there's now 5 different stages of AGI. We're in stage 0 right now. David Shapiro thinks that we will be, at fairly advanced AGI within 7 months. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Google Gemini looked impressive in the video. Yeah, I know, Steve-O. I'm going with Shapiro on this one. He's written 5 books on AGI, and he's got an open source cognitive architecture project to build his own AGI that he's going to open source to the world. So I'm going to stick with him, and I'm also an optimist. But basically, when AGI is achieved, the AI tools can do most humans' jobs completely. Meaning it's going to have reasoning. So it's going to be able to understand that it made a mistake and correct it. It doesn't have that right now. And it's also going to have what's called agentic behavior. It's going to have agents. So it's going to be able to turn on things that will take action on your behalf. We're going to see that this year. Now, what level it gets to and, will it actually be doing all of our jobs? No, absolutely not, right? We're going to see glimpses of it. But we're going to see the improvements in ChatGPT here. So this is, I can never remember this because Sam Altman speaks in such specific language. So I wrote it down on a crinkled piece of paper. When I don't trust anyone who can write 5 books on the same question. Figure it out. Pate's had his Wheaties today. He's in a good mood. I like it, Pate. I like it. All right, so here's what Sam Altman said about ChatGPT 4. So these 2 sentences were in his talk at Davos like 3 weeks ago. Nicholas shared the live. Thank you, Nicholas. Encourage more viewers to share. Sure. Be like Nicholas. Share this live. If you want to have some fun tonight, share this live with people who don't like AI, and I'll straighten them out. I will. I love talking to people that are like, AI is awful, AI is stupid, AI is poo-poo. You're dumb because you like AI. I love talking to those people. Because you know why? You know why they're acting like that, right? They don't know more than you. They're scared. And being afraid is okay. And we can acknowledge that. We should acknowledge that. If that's what's going on. And then we should say, want to see something cool? And then blow their mind. Okay. Here's what Sam Altman said about ChatGPT 4 at Davos 3 weeks ago. He said this in a lot of different interviews, some variation of this. He said GPT-4 is best understood as a preview. As a preview. Like an appetizer. Like wetting our whistle. GPT-4 is, I think, 4 years old. The underlying model has been around for 3 or 4 years. ChatGPT's been around for a year. They only released ChatGPT 4 in March of last year. So it hasn't even been a year that we've had access to it. They've been working on it for 3 or 4 years. So what do you think is sitting behind that? Well, one of the things they just showed us is that video shit. And if you go read the technical paper about how they're doing that video shit, Video is the least thing, it's the most simple thing that system is going to be outputting. In fact, I'm just going to read to you the very first sentence of this announcement of OpenAI's video tool. We're teaching AI to understand and simulate the physical world in motion, with the goal of training models to help people solve problems that require real-world interaction. That video is so good because the underlying model understands and is simulating the physical world. What? They're not talking about frame rates. They're not talking about color depth. They're not talking about aspect ratios. They're talking about understanding and simulating the physical world so that we can help people solve problems that require real-world interaction. That's not a video tool. Video just happens to be the simplest thing that they can show us that won't melt our fucking faces. So Sam Altman says ChatGPT 4 is best understood as a preview. And then he followed that up with this sentence. Progress here is not linear. Right? It's not this. It's this. My paper's too crooked. It's this. Right? We're going along like this. We're just now starting to do this. And then these things do this. And why this is impossible to comprehend is that as soon as these systems have reasoning, where they can start to not only give you an answer, but take that answer and analyze it and determine if that answer was good or not and improve it, they can start improving themselves. That's where all the sci-fi nerds are like, well, what if they improve themselves so much and say that we're not necessary, right? And that's where you talk about things like alignment. Are the imperatives of the large language model in alignment with the imperatives of the meat bags that invented them? They better be, or we're in trouble. But there's a lot of smart people working on alignment, so I think Sam Altman said they're spending 20% of all money OpenAI is spending right now is on what they're calling super alignment to make sure that these tools are safe. let's hope that's enough. That's true. Kyle, what do you think things with AI will be like at year's end? Year's end is easy. If you ask me 3 years out, I don't have a fucking clue. Okay, by year's end, I think we'll have some version of ChatGPT 5. You think I'm working on this so that the humans win? Pate with another zinger. Ba-dum-bum.
You can make money with ChatGPT.
I think by the end we'll have whatever the hell they're calling ChatGPT 5. It seems clear to me that they're not going to call it ChatGPT 5, but whatever. I don't care about the name so much. Other than I hope they get a branding person that knows what they're doing. So these tools will have reasoning. So when Sam Altman was fired, there was a release, there was a leak of an email that was sent to the board that talked about this thing Q-Star. And Q-Star is an AI reasoning engine. And apparently Q-Star did some really good shit, which scared the bejesus out of people. And rumor is that's why Sam Altman was fired, that they hit some milestone on the path to AGI, which is OpenAI's mission is to get to AGI and provide it to humanity. That's their mission. It's why they've got this weird nonprofit structure. It's why that structure was such a shit show where they fired Sam Altman. It's like for seemingly no fucking reason. Because one of the things they said after they patched Humpty Dumpty back together was, oh yeah, it had nothing to do with Q-Star. Everything's fine here. Don't look over here. Sam's back. Everyone's good, right? We're good? Can we just carry on now? So I think that GPT-5 will have some high level of reasoning in it. And then that means it can do things like math. And when it can do things like math, then it can start to do all sorts of crazy things. So I think one is reasoning. I think the second one is agents, autonomous agents. So I think Apple will do this. I think OpenAI will certainly do this. I think Google will do this. Where when you want something done, it won't be like you go to ChatGPT and you ask it to do something. It'll be like, whatever your tool is, you say, I want something done, and it will spawn little agents, little things, little bots that go on your behalf and go do shit for you and take action. Can deposit money in your bank account, can book a travel thing, can book a restaurant, can just do shit for you. So I think we'll see that. And then I think the third thing that we're going to see is that all of the major players will have true multimodal they're not large language models. I don't know what they are. True multimodal AIs. So right now, ChatGPT can hear, you can talk to it. If you download the ChatGPT app, you can put it into conversation mode. It can talk. So it's got text to speech. It can hear. It can see. It's got vision. It can make images. It can do all the language stuff. It can code. It can execute that code. If you use Code Interpreter for advanced data analysis, it does all that. What's missing? Music, audio, voice synthesis, video, 3D worlds, dynamic programming, like dynamic interfaces. And Google already demonstrated in their Gemini marketing movies dynamic interfaces. I can show you that shit. That's fucking mind-blowing. You ask it a question and it says, oh, I think it would be easier for this viewer if we just spin up a little software application here with buttons that you can click to do shit. And it spins it up, writes the code, connects the databases, and presents you an application created on the fly. So when you have a single interface that can do sight, sound, motion, programming, 3D world development, creation, logic, plus you have reasoning, plus you can take actions. I don't know what that is. I still don't have my head fully around ChatGPT in its current state. I still don't, frankly, have my head fully around ChatGPT 3.5. Like, if you've been using ChatGPT for the last year, you're like, well, yeah, you ask it things and it gives you things. But it's remarkable. And like, you could ask it anything. And you could, if you put your mind to it, you could either go incredibly deep on a single subject, or if you did it in a focused way, you could as an individual act as a 10 or 15 person company just using ChatGPT 3.5. And they're showing us this movie shit, you're going to be able to talk something like that into existence? And did you see the 11 Labs thing? That the response to this from 11 Labs? Here, let me show you that. You want to lose your fucking mind? You people want to lose your mind? I'll lose your mind for you. Oh, look at this thing. Look at this. This dude, is it a dude? Martin. This dude hooked up a pressure-sensitive Wacom tablet that's got a screen underneath it, the Sync Wacom tablet, with Krea and Photoshop. And is, I guess, in Photoshop. I think he's in Photoshop, but it's sending the output of Photoshop to the input of Krea, which is rendering it in real time. So as he's drawing on screen, it's re-rendering the shit underneath it. Like, this is someone just clever that duct taped together 3 different tools. So this we're going to be able to do. Look at that. You can't draw? That's okay. You can't draw here? Here, now you can. But it's exactly where you want it. Holy crap. So that I saw today. And that's like, you can't buy that anywhere. That's just someone who's particularly clever, has some illustration skills, and could figure out how to connect those 3 tools together. Check this out. 11 Labs Sora. Is this it? No, it's this one. All right. Okay, so OpenAI launches this thing, Sora, which is these, you can do up to a minute-long video that doesn't suck. And 11 Labs, who does voice synthesis, right? They're the voice behind HeyGen's video translations. That's 11 Labs. A lot of the voice synthesis stuff that you hear, 11 Labs is the engine underneath it. So OpenAI launches Sora, and the day after, 11 Labs says, sign up for our wait list for text to sound effects. And so they took their video and used their audio generation engine to do this.
In a place beyond imagination, where the horizon kisses the heavens, one man dares to journey where few have ventured. Armed with nothing but his wit and an unyielding spirit, he seeks the answers to mysteries that lie beyond the stars.
Wait, see that? All these sound effects were generated by 11 Labs without modification. How did they create these sounds? By sampling YouTube videos? No, they have a model. Well, I don't know where they got their sound libraries from. They might have done it from, open source. There's all sorts of audio libraries out there. Do you know how long it takes? This one blows me away. Do you know how long it takes? This one. Like that little robot sound. Do you know how long it takes sound editors to source the sounds and stitch them together to be able to get something like that? Or Foley artists to do the walking? How they generated them was text to audio. So, sound of a woman walking on a city street or whatever it was. Click, click, click. And I'm sure I doubt that they uploaded the videos and it automatically did it. I assume they text to audio generated the audio and then manually edited them. But still. So I think, back to the question, what do I think we see by the end of the year? I think by the end of the year, we're going to have tools that have all of the modalities of communications at our fingertips. And you may not need to do prompt engineering. If I'm looking at the guy with the tablet where he's drawing tree limbs and they're just magically sprouting into illustrations, you might prompt your large language model with your phone, the camera on your phone. Or with just, it's connected to Siri and it just spins up all this shit. By the time you get to work, you've got a 30-second commercial for your business. Done. So I think that by the end of the year, those tools are out somewhere. They're probably not all going to be in the same interface. They're probably not going to all be in the same company, but they're all going to be there. And they're going to be like staggeringly good. And so anyone right now that's sitting on the sidelines like, well, these things aren't perfect. This is stupid. It's stealing. They're going to be trying to hang on for dear life, trying to catch up to people that show up in this community and hang out at the AI Salon. Not that community. That community, the AI Salon. Which if you don't know it, you should go check it out. AI Salon, the salon.ai. Go read about the salon and our values. And then the first thing you should do there is go introduce yourself. If you're curious about this AI stuff, this is your group. This group is not like any other fucking group out there, I promise you. It's generous. It's full of nice people, helpful people, enthusiastic people. It's so overwhelming when I get in, though. It is. So, what's your name? L-O-L-O-L-O-L. Oh, I get it. That's good. That's very cute. 9 out of 10, just because it took me a while to parse it. Thank you, Sherry D. Yeah, this stuff is overwhelming, which is one of the reasons that I strongly advocate for you playing, not working, not learning. I should call this the AI playing lab, not the AI learning lab. Because in playing, you will learn. Just in hanging out in these things, even though it doesn't seem obvious tonight because I'm just sort of yapping my fucking jaws, being in the presence of other people that are trying to figure this out, that are also overwhelmed. One of the things that I see really consistently in the salon and in this community is kind of an oscillation where people get really excited about AI and they're like, oh my God, the future's so bright. I see all this possibility. Then they get overwhelmed and they just go like, fuck it, I can't. And they go down in this trenches. And then either something happens or they try something and they're like, oh, right, this shit's really fucking remarkable. And then they come back up. And there's these oscillations that just are doing this all the time. And it's also if you haven't really played with a lot of AI, just start playing with it a lot until you have what I call your first Kevin McAllister moment, right? This one. You'll have that moment. And then you'll have another one. And then you'll have another one. And then you'll have another one. And you can't unsee it. That's the thing about this stuff, is it's like, you know, we all watch The Matrix, you know, red pill, blue pill, we get it. You know, you can't unsee it, right? Don't take the red pill. You take the blue pill, you just go back to your slumber, everything's fine. You take the red pill, you can't unsee it, right? You're going to learn something that you can't unlearn. That's what this shit is. And I gotta tell you, as overwhelming as it is, it's a lot less scary when you're in it than when you're sitting on the fucking sidelines. I've had multiple whole family Kevin McAllister moments at this point. Yeah, exactly. That's one of the other things I strongly recommend. One is just play. Two is try to solve problems with it. Like try to solve problems for your family or your friends or at work or for yourself, whatever. And then the third one is talk about it, share about it. Share it with your family. Share it with your coworkers. But they don't let us use AI at work. Fuck them. Use it on the weekends. Get yourself a $200 Chromebook at Best Buy if you can't use it on the work computer. And just start playing with it. Just do it on your phone. Download Pi. Start having conversations with Pi. Just start playing with it and start talking about it. And the people that resist it eventually are going to say, hey, could you teach me how to do that? So, anyway, I got to go. I got to get up early. It's already late. 10-minute goodbyes. All right, so if you enjoyed what you heard here tonight, I don't know what's wrong with you. Follow my channel. So I don't know how you do that on TikTok, but you can figure it out. You can subscribe to my lives if you want to support this. You can buy in one of the corners is a video series I created called Underhyped, which explains sort of my point of view on why I think this AI stuff is a lot bigger deal than people think, and it gives you a lot of tools on how to cope with and not get overwhelmed by these tools. And then consider joining the AI Salon. There's no cost to this, by the way. This doesn't cost anything. It's free. It's supported by people who just step up and say, yeah, I'm willing to sponsor a month. Sherry D is sponsoring February. So thank you, Sherry D. All right. And then we're going to get out of here. Audio generation, minds blown. 3 minds blown. I know. Crazy, right? How did they create those sounds? By sampling YouTube videos. It gave him a knitted helmet. So Dina, that knitted helmet was part of the prompt. It was a knitted motorcycle helmet. It was a spaceman on a salt dune or a salt planet or a salt dune, I don't know, with a red knitted motorcycle helmet. The first Jax class is tomorrow. Oh, it's being run by Awesome Co-worker. Info in the Mechanics Guild. Okay, so tomorrow, if you're geeky and you want to learn about Jax, which is if you want to create your own large language model, like if you want to really get under the hood and understand how these things actually work, Pate, who runs the Mechanics Guild in the AI Salon, he's got information in the AI Mechanics Guild, or the Mechanics Guild, about a class tomorrow that his coworker is putting on how to make your own large language model. All right? So go there, read about our values, introduce yourself, run to the Mechanics Guild, and geek out. All right, I'm getting out of here. Pate, good to see you. LOLL, I like your name. Tobias, great to see you. Be not afraid. Danielle, thank you very much. Sherry D, as always, thank you for your generosity. Who else we got in here? What's up, Talk? Dylan, good to see you. Shafe Bomb, good to see you. Solar Cycle Lady, good to see you. Clint Copperhead, thank you. Everyone in the regulars, present your animals. Thank you, Tobias. Thank you. Investor Friendly Agent, thank you so much. Good question tonight, by the way. A Human Being, good to see you. All right, Dr. J, Emilio's wife. Sherry D, thank you for the dangly lights. I loves me some dangly lights. Laughing Thunder, Rachel Sparkles. All right, everybody. Kayla Funnel Fairy Coach. Love your name. All right, everyone. I am out of here. I'm crispy. I'm going to go crash and get all ready for my board meeting. I'm going board meeting. You know why they call it a board meeting? Because if you show up, you'll be fucking bored. Peace.